First of all, I want to say congratulations for your tournament. It is over. Today was a tough match against Gemma and Claudia, but still you here in the second round of Premier Padel P2. First of all, I want to know what are your feelings of playing such amazing tournaments around the world? We see you a lot last year, a lot more this year. So how do you feel?
I feel grateful because it's a very nice way of doing sports. Because before I was a tennis player and I stopped playing tennis, and now that I become a paddle player, I feel really grateful to be in this life. That the way Premier Padel organized tournaments is very nice. It's beautiful. You can see the court is beautiful. A lot of people watching the match. The organization is nice. So we really enjoy playing this kind of tournaments, and I would say that Bordeaux could be P1 easily because the way it's organized is very nice. We really enjoy this play.
Better than in South America, for example?
We could say yes,
Yeah.
in some ways better.
Well, I'm gonna ask a question about you because you're a Russian player, which is not often on
Yeah, I'm the only one.
You're the only one. What it is like to be the only Russian player on a professional paddle tour?
I feel it's kind of it's a big feeling that I feel because I know that there's a lot of people in Russia that watching me and they know about me, so they call me, they ask me about my experiences. I talk a lot with the team managers in Russia, so I'm trying to like improve paddle in Russia. So I feel like it's a job to be a first one of your country, and I hope that one day we will be more Russian players on tour. And it's kind of nice actually. I feel like I'm special, let's say, because there are so many Spanish, Argentinians, French, Italians, so I'm like the only one, and I feel special. But I feel like it's a job for me right now because I feel like I have to help my country grow paddle sport.
Talking about Russia, is there a lot of paddle there, or is it new? Is it nowhere?
Paddle been there for years now.
Yeah.
There are a lot of new clubs, big clubs, like a lot of courts, nice courts. People really enjoy it. I think there's still lack of training and how to train. Still, there are a lot of coaches that learn how to train. There are a lot of coaches that come to Spain to learn the way they can train people in Russia. It's growing and growing really fast. A lot of people playing. A lot of courts are booked, fully booked. There's a nice new club, Lunda Padel. It's in a big commercial center, so it's very nice because a lot of people walking around doing shopping. They hear paddle, they come near, they see the court, and they just sign up and they try and they play. So it's a very nice way of like marketing. So there's a lot of people playing all in like in Moscow and St. Petersburg and on north of Russia, in middle Russia. There's a lot of courts, a lot of people.
And how can you explain that in tennis, Russia is one of the biggest country? We're talking about Medvedev, about Sharapova, about Andreeva, about Rublev, and still there is only you playing paddle. So you said it, there is a lack of trainings.
Yes.
But is there a lack of coach in your country, or people just don't want to move to Spain or Italy to have a coach?
The sport is still young. A lot of people, a lot of ex-professional tennis players, they still don't know about the way they can earn money in paddle. It's a little bit hard doing this from Russia, so they have to move to Spain. And not many players are ready to leave everything behind and just go to practice in Spain and start from zero, let's say, because they have to learn all the skills that paddle requires. And there's still a few coaches, so they are learning how to practice, how to train people. So it still need time. There's already a team prepared from. I think like last year there was a nice team with tennis players, but they play like tennis inside the paddle court. But I follow them and I see their matches, I see their practices, and they're improving very fast. Also, they're like so. They have nice tennis players, guys. They play very hard, like a lot of smash from both sides, forehand and backhand. So I think we can build a very nice team of like real hitters.
Talking about you now, how do you discovered how did you discover paddle? Because you said it, you were a tennis player for years, and like 4 years ago, you decided to come and to say, now I want to be part of the paddle world, and I want to be on the best players. So, how from tennis experience you become such a great player in paddle?
It's a nice story, actually. I was working as a receptionist in a tennis club, tennis and paddle club, and sometimes I was playing tennis for fun. And there was a paddle coach, Marco Lucas, and he saw me playing tennis, and he was like, "Oh, you can play tennis?" I was like, "Yeah, I was a professional tennis player, and
So you can
I
play
abandoned."
paddle. You...
And he said, "No, I was playing tennis." And he said, "Would you like to try playing paddle?" And I said, "No, no, no, because I already played it. I don't like it because I don't know how to turn. I don't know how to defend the walls. It's so hard for me. I become so crazy on the court." And he said, "Please, let me train you 1 month, and I will show you how to defend the walls, how to attack, how to defend. So if you like it, you will continue practicing, because I feel like with your physics, with your way you play in tennis, with your technique, you can learn really fast playing good paddle, and you can earn money more than you're earning right now as a receptionist." I was like, "Nah, you're joking." But like first 3 practices, he showed me everything, and I was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm defending." And then, like in 1 month, I played my first tournament, national tournament in Valencia, and I felt again this adrenaline, this rush when you play a tournament, when you're competing. And I said, "Yes, I want this," because I was missing it so much. And from then on, I was practicing more, and I left my job. And then my coach, Marco, he helped me with sponsors, so I could afford practicing and traveling. It was hard at the beginning because I couldn't enter because I didn't have points. But luckily, Valencian Federation, they gave me wildcards for before it was World Padel Tour, so they gave me wildcards so I could win some matches and get points. And from then on, I was entering like pre-quali. I was staying in pre-quali for like months. I couldn't win any matches, and then finally I got to the quali. I was staying in the quali for so long, so it was a long process. Like last year, I was playing qualifications still.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I had a chance to play with Lucia Martinez, and with her, I can be a top 16 teams. So from now on, I'm on the main draw. It was a long, hard process to get here.
You're talking about the quali last year. You were a bit like the surprise of the Amsterdam Open. We remember this photo where you are on the ground. I don't remember with Marta Borrero. I think it must have been a strong feeling for you.
That match, I think, like I had an interview like 2 months ago, and the girl, she asked me what was the best feeling you had in paddle tournament, and I explained this moment, Amsterdam, because we had so tough match in the qualification. First match 3 sets, second match 3 sets, so tough matches, and then first round against twins, and we were just saying let's enjoy the match. But first set playing, we felt that we can win it. You know, like sometimes when you enter the court, you know that anything you touch, it will get in. And we had this feeling. So we said, let's fight it and let's try our best. And when we won in the first and third set, it was like ecstasy. I don't know. It was so nice feeling. We couldn't believe it. Like after the match, we went to the hotel. We were laying on the bed, like, what did we do right now? We just won like the biggest match of our lives. And she was like, because she's from Padel, she's been Marta has been Padel player for many years, all her life, And she was like, I can't believe they just beat twins. I can't believe it that I beat them.
It was like a dream come true for.
It's like if I beat, I don't know, Maria Sharapova or Serena Williams. Not for me, because for me tennis is much bigger than paddle. I didn't know any of super paddle players. Now I know them and I learned the history of paddle and stuff. But for her, it was like a big moment of her life. It was so funny. Yeah.
Is it complicated for you? Now you're not in quali anymore, but still there is 19 countries in the tour. After it was like before it was 80% of the tournaments in Spain. Is it difficult financially first, and when if are you tired of all these travels, because you were in South America, now you're in Europe, you were in Qatar and Saudi Arabia in beginning of the year. How do you live this changement, this change?
I would say as a tennis player, I was traveling a lot. So for me, this kind of calendar is not that tough, because before I was playing so many tournaments in tennis far away from home. So now I really enjoy it. It's a little bit tough sometimes financially, like the South America, it was a little bit expensive, the tickets, but as a premier have very nice prize money, so we can afford it, and sponsors are helping. But I don't feel like it's so tough traveling. I think it's tough when team is not right, because you have to spend so much time with the same person. And in South America, there were so many, not like bad moments between teams, but like you get tired of the same person all the time. So it was challenging. And I think after South America, for example, some teams became stronger, and there are some teams that broke. They changed the partners, they changed coaches because it was tough. But as traveling, I actually enjoy it because it reminds me of tennis a little bit.
I wanted to ask you a question before about you're Russian, but you talked about Valencia. So when did you move to Spain? Was it for tennis or because of your parents?
I moved to Spain 12 years ago.
Okay.
When I was 16, I moved because I wanted to play tennis. So I found an academy in Valencia, next to Valencia, and the coach invited me. So he helped me with all papers and house and trainings. And I was playing tennis for 4 years. And when I was 20, I stopped, and I asked myself, what would I do now? I will go to Russia and work somewhere, or I stay here and work somewhere. So I prefer staying in Spain because I like Spain. And I stayed, I worked for 4 years. And when I was 24, I started to play paddle.
So it was one of the best decisions of your life to
Yes.
stay in Spain.
Yes.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for this interview. I hope for you that you will be more and more in the tournament, and you will win more and more matches. And you play in Italy next week. So I wish you luck in Rome.
Thank you very much.